is a new day in this country. Let us look around. Business as usual in our outlook and in our approach is not going to work. It is not going to help rescue this country from those who seem to think that they can treat the legacy of independence and the past development and future development of this country with such scant respect. Business as usual is not going to arrest that problem. We need to do things differently. So the national issues of which we speak are not just theoretical. They aren't just numbers on a page. These issues they both begin and they manifest in our homes and in our communities. So when we hear from a 2010 report that 48% of adult Barbadians who leave school without certification, 48%, that is half, ladies and gentlemen. And we invest so much in education. We boast a 97% literacy rate, and half of us leave school without certification. What does that mean? It means that while we try and address these national issues of education and unemployment, while we have to pay some attention at the national level, it presents an opportunity for us to fill that gap in the communities. And how are we going to fill that gap? By the types of programs in places like Gully Hill, where the community center is always closed. Same situation at Valerie Playing Field, where children are outside sitting on the step and trying their best to find some amusement outside on the step for a community center that's meant to serve the community. It can't be business as usual, folks. So when we talk about programs in the community, we're not just talking about homework help. That's important. But we also have to look at things like music, technology and production, computer coding, things that are going to put money in the pockets of young people in the new economy, the new global economy. And we're also talking about hearing what people want to do. What are the things that are going to support people's productive capacities at the community level? I've walked all over this constituency and hear so many amazing ideas from young men and women who just want a hand up, they just want a start. But we need to do it in a different way, because the old way, ladies and gentlemen, it has not been working. And so I think too that when we look around these communities, we know, and two of my, and I'm calling them my communities because they're my communities, two of my communities were mentioned in that recent IDB study that talks about the issue of crime and insecurity. That is another area where we can't just keep using strong arm policing methods. So when we talk about how we educate young people, it also has to be about conflict resolution, about social crime solving. How do we engage people in ways that make them want to keep security and peace in our communities? We have to do things in a new way. The new dispensation also has to do with local economic development. And this is a very important part of what we have to consider now. Because we see all of these large contracts being awarded to single large companies. And so it takes us back to those old theories of trickle-down economics. And what did they say? That you give all the money to the top wealthy, and eventually the money will get to the bottom. And we know that that is not the case. So when you have a local economic development approach, what does that mean? It means that if there's work to be done in the community, it is given to those service providers who live in the community. What does that do? It puts money in the pockets of those people who live right there. And not only that, it creates ownership and accountability, because guess what? If I am a mason and you ask me to build on a toilet for my neighbor, I live next door. So if I do a poor job, somebody's going to come and knock at me. It means that when you have projects in the community, they can be done and should be done by people who have a stake in the development of their communities. So I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, that I present myself to you to be your candidate for St. Michael's South Central. I am committed to this work. This is not a short-term project. And based on what we are seeing now, when the Barbados Labour Party comes to government in the next general election, we will have a lot of work to do. It is not going to be easy, but I know my people of St. Michael South Central. I know that we are going to work hard and we are going to work together. So come on, we have some work to do. Thank you very much.